You're tuned in to Floridian Rollo. I am your host, Floridian Rollo, and I am coming with another live stream. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? For whatever reason, StreamYards is not showing that how many people is really live streaming. So I have to be periodically checking my phone. It is what it is. You know, on this April 17th, 2025, you have a lot of these individuals, they're upset with Wallow. They're upset with WALLO. You know, I saw Kid O'Gannon talk about it. And you have these FBA imbeciles have an issue with Wallow, have an issue with Ringo, have an issue with anybody that's bringing out informative information and stating their facts. The reason why a lot of these people support bad behavior is because they know that the majority of people are evil, and they are evil themselves. Remember, I told y'all in many of my videos, it will be better to show you than I could tell you. And the reason why I know now what's going on is all due to the Most High. And it's getting to a point that you have to remove yourself from anyone that support bad behavior and not calling out the truth. And see, when we call out the truth, they want to ostracize us. They don't want us to get any support. They don't want to see us win. They don't want to see us provide services. And this should not surprise you, because it don't surprise me. I definitely know it don't surprise Ringo and Brainwaves, and the list goes on. They actually believe they're winning because they're pushing this narrative that majority of the people actually are exposing themselves to be involved in. So what this lets you know is that they don't care about the situation as long as the moolah come in. And when you follow the paper trail, you will be very disgusted of what's really transpiring. And now we know. We know now with this case what it may lead to potentially, and how you as a people that see through the BS, what you need to do. This is give you the time to get away from people who support bad behavior. You have to see if they are what they say they are. And you can't deal with no fair weather people. You can't deal with no flip-flop. You have to deal with somebody that call it in the middle, not choosing sides, just pointing out the facts. And that's hard for most people to do because there's barely any support in that. So these people don't have integrity, the Red Supremes, the New Breeds, let's go on. They don't have integrity because let me tell you something. You got people believing that I'm making a lot of money doing this content. I'm not even making what you can even imagine. And it's like when you hear these people say that Ringo's making a lot or Brainwave's making a lot, that's not true. That's not true. It's only a small percentage of people who really rock with our platform, who really hit the Cash App, who really hit the Super Chat, who really want to see us win. It's only a small percentage of people. What's up, Corey? It's only a small percentage of people that really hit the support button. When you have these people that lie, people generally support lie than truth. We cannot sit here and act like that don't exist. And you know what's the crazy part, Corey, and everybody tuning in? When you show the truth, people are less receptible to support. It's only a few, and that's why it's always been a small amount of people who makes it in a long haul and everybody else gets dealt with. There's no lie in numbers. There's no lie in numbers. Even on the left-hand side, it's only a small percentage is getting the justification. So that's the same thing when it comes to the righteous folks or the people that stand for truth. And I'm grateful to the people that support the platform, when they can. And it's unfortunate because to be very successful in anything, you have to allow your way to the top. And I'm not that type of person. Ringo's not that type of person. Brainwave's not the type of person. Some of you ladies are not that type of person. And it's very difficult for people to support real truth. And when I look at the receipts, I got to be honest. It's only a select few men and mostly women that support the platform. And what that lets me know is that men want to hear lies more than women want to hear lies. And how do I know that? It's because even though I have maybe 35 to 40% women, 60% men subscribe to the channel, yet the women support more realness than the men do in a long shot. And that's not, I'm talking about in a long shot. It's more women. It's rarely you hear me with exceptions call a few of the guys out. And then you hear the women, they'll come through. And I'm like, man. And I appreciate both parties that do that. It's just that I have to keep it real that what I saw today, I said, Lord, did I see what I saw? Men support more evil than women do. I'm convinced, Corey. That's why a lot of women are doing better and having a hard time getting a man because look at the men that we have out here. Look how they're moving. They're moving sloppy. And so I want to see if anybody want to challenge me on that based on what I'm seeing and observing. The only way a man will support you a lot, there's three things. One, if you have a lot of women around you, which is nothing wrong having a lot of women around you. He'll support that. He'll support things that it's just like women support more upbringing and want to see you get out of that excuse range. It's like the men want to see you stay in excuse. I noticed that a lot of these male content creators like Red Supreme, New Breed, they evil, of course. Don't get it twisted, they evil. And it's like people are drawn to evil. Men, especially men, in a small amount of women. And so, how do I know this to be the case, you may ask, Rollo? Because I've seen it. I'm like, wow. So men, in order for men to get a lot of men's support, they have to push this narrative of war and doom and gloom. That's when the men support heavy over there. Yet when it's time to step up and be responsible, men don't want to hear that. Women want to hear that. And a lot of men think that because a lot of women support that we're against men. No, we speak fair and balanced. And the truth of the matter is, nobody could change my mind. I'm convinced. Especially a lot of trips that I will be getting into and the conversations I'm starting to have. Guys, you got to do better with your way of moving, man. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. It's getting to a point that a lot of men are following other men that's going to set you back 100 years. I'm not kidding. And if you're not careful and you follow these Red Supremes and New Breeds and these type of men, whether you're young or you're of age, older, them dudes ain't going to bail you out. And the women you have will no longer be able to have the man she thought she had because she sees him following men that's going to lead him right into jail, unalive, and she has no one to be there for her. I'm telling y'all, man, the Most High is not playing with the men right now. And it's like we talk about we got this and that going on, yet when it's time to hit the button, You have to get these. It takes a lot. Because I was listening to Trending with Sharice, and what I want to tell her is that it takes a lot to get men to listen. It doesn't take a lot to get a woman to listen. And I know a guy's gonna be like, "Why are you saying that, Rollo?" Because I'm just telling it like it is. You would think women are hard headed. No, they're not as hard headed as men think they are. And it's like, why is there a lot of men supporting bad behavior? It's only a small percentage of women supporting bad behavior. I'm going to keep it real. What this exposed, Ringo, Brainwaves, many of you that follow the chat, we cannot deny it. A lot of men, so-called black men, ladies, if this don't tell you about these entities, I don't know what else to tell you. You make your decision. The truth of the matter is, a lot of men support more evil than women do. I'm convinced after what I saw today. It was so disgusting. You may have a few women here and there, yet the majority is men. This is bad, y'all. This is bad. This is bad, man. Listen, so-called black men, this is not good, man. This is why we have to pull together and support one another, push one another to do better, man. Because if you won't support bad behavior, you can't get on a woman if she starts becoming the woman you always call her out to be when you're the one who's promoting it. You promoting bad behavior. And we're calling out the bad behavior because we get it. We're fighting a big battle, y'all. And it's like, not me being discouraged. I'm just disappointed of how many men. That's why I said the Most High is the way. Because a lot of men could be insecure and they want to just be down with anything that's hot and won't call out the real and support the real like they're supposed to. And then you wonder why people don't take us serious because we don't take ourselves serious. And the other nations is watching, y'all. They got their own thing they dealing with at the same time. Look at the embarrassment, man. Corey, you got to see for what it is. It's embarrassing, man. If I was to, deal with a certain situation, I could, call a few guys, see what's going on, and boom. Yet the ladies, they're like, nah, we ain't gonna have this happen to you, Rollo. We're gonna do something about it. Man, I've seen so many men supporting bad behavior today on the internet. And the women that were watching it was very, very little. It's not a good look. And I have to call it out. I'm not going to be on too long. It's been a long day today. A lot of great things going on. And I'm just like, yo, it's time for us to be seeing our just due because there's too many fake dudes. I have a lot to say. Hold on, I got this. I got somebody calling me. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. One second, y'all. Let me see what's going on. It must be important. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, I'll let the person know what's going on. So think about what I'm saying in all seriousness. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. This is a serious conversation. This ain't gonna be no breakdown video or I already said the names, and it's like, okay, what is the men that's on point is going to just sit here and not support? Because I'm gonna keep it real. Like I expect the ladies to support, yet the men, I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, what's really going on, fellas? Because when the numbers speak for itself, look how much they gave to a criminal. It was a lot of men that gave to this criminal, a lot of men. And when it comes to us, want to do certain projects, get certain things going, it takes years before we get what we're supposed to get. And it's like, is it true? Is it true? Is that true that it's only a small amount of men that's on point and the rest is just not normal? And this is the reason why we see all this situation with the ladies taking their time with us and they're not taking their time with dudes that look like they got something going on, yet they troublemakers. I'm telling you, man, this is some serious, 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 serious stuff. I just have to tell the truth. It's like people choose to become evil because that's what people will invest in, particularly men and somewhat women. Man, I'm not saying that I'm doing that. The brethren is definitely not doing that. What I'm saying is that we see what's going on, and I'm just the one that's pointing it out because they pointed it out as well. I'm just, letting it be known. There's no denying in that. If it takes long for us to get what we're supposed to get, and these criminals could move into a nice place and ransack that type of environment because the way they move, then what does that say about us that have to put in a lot of work just to get not only support, yet to get things going? It's crazy. It's just it's crazy, man. Everything's backwards, man. Everything's backwards. I'm not saying I'm backwards or anybody I deal with is backwards. The way people are moving is so backwards, man. I'm like, wow. So you want to hear Buttigieg and gossip and no receipts. Then those who bring receipts and you don't want to even support, like, share, add to the conversation. Man, this is crazy. I see why the ladies are the way they are right now. I see why they the way they are. I can't blame them. I can't really blame the ladies who are ready to be with a man and they seeing what's going on and a lot of good dudes who on point is just quiet and not saying nothing and not supporting. I'm telling you what I know, man. The women ain't gonna say anything because they're just watching and observing. I'm just telling you what I know. Man, man, oh man, oh man. This is not good. And so I'm just gonna say what I needed to say. I'm just gonna be on for 30 minutes. And so only Corey's in the chat. Everybody else is in the clouds watching. It is what it is. So that lets me know I'm not gonna be on here, for an hour or two, because there's only one person that's saying something in the chat. Everybody pretty much is just watching in the clouds, which I have no issue with. I have no issue with. It's just that, I have to tell it like it is so my hands are clean. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the few fellas that support, by coming through, support the Cash App, support the Venmo, or hit the GoFundMe, Shout out to the ladies that come through all the time. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Not making that much on here, y'all. We're not making that much when we talk this truth. So when we do get support, that helps, to keep it going. I can't really depend on this 100%. This is why I say that we got other things going on, because, man, you don't realize how much to come on here, to prepare, to do this on a daily basis. And I'm not envying the wicked. I'm just saying that a lot of these dudes are evil. They evil, y'all. There's a lot of evil men on this world. A lot of evil men, or men that's becoming evil. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it, y'all. And we've seen it in full time. Yep. So that's pretty much about it. We got a few likes. Shout out to Corey for tuning in. Whoever's viewing in the clouds, thank you for liking the video. Hey, we're going to keep doing what we need to do. I'm going to end this live stream. I'm going to play one more music on my way out. Hit the like button, share the video, support the Venmo, support the Cash App, and support the GoFundMe. I know Corey was the last time I checked, supported the GoFundMe. I appreciate that. And so with that said, y'all, I'm out. Just wanted to throw some things out there. We get into some content tomorrow. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.